Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi witnessed on Monday the inauguration of the 7th edition of Egypt's, which is held under the slogan Energy in Action, Supply, Security, Energy Conversion and Emission Reduction. During the inauguration, President Sisi said that implementing renewable energy pledges in Africa is difficult due to the lack of funding, calling on the international financing institutions and the rich countries to provide low-cost funding to the renewable energy projects. To shed more light on Egypt's 2024, we are much delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Latif Wahba, a journalist. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah.
Mr. Wahba, can you shed light about the significance of holding Egypt's 2024 as an annual gathering for the global industry leaders?
It is an international convention and meeting for the producers of oils and gas all over the world. This is one. And the other, at the same time, as you know, that during the last years, especially after the Russian-Ukrainian war, all the countries all over the world are trying to search for sources of energy or supply sources for energy, even oil and gas at the same time. The world suffered during the last years of shortage of gas and oil productions and so on. And at the same time, as you know, that President Fattah al-Sisi during his speech referred to the importance of depending upon new sources, especially green energy, and renewable resources, and so on. Egypt, at the same time, after hosting COP27, signed many accords and agreement and memorandum of understanding with international companies to establish factories and power plants in Egypt. At the same time, there is a negotiations between Egypt and the European countries to export a part of this productions to the European countries. This is, of course, as we said, they are searching for a stable and security power supply in the Mediterranean and from the Middle East also. This is one. And you know that Egypt, during the last 2 years, also adopted a new policy for using the natural gas, even in housing and also in cars and so on, in order to lessen the use of the traditional oils. This is, of course, will secure the many foreign currency Egypt paid during the last years to import traditional oils or crude oils for the local markets. President Fattah al-Sisi at the same time stressed that the non-security positions all over the world caused all the international community. You remember when he refers at the same time to what happened in the Red Sea and the decrease of the Suez Canal
Yes,
revenues
indeed, yes.
by 40 or 50% because of the Houthis attack on the
Yes,
ships, vessels, oil tankers, and so on.
yes,
At the same time, as you know, that it is an important chance for the countries, even the producers and the non-producers countries, to negotiate in the future of energy supply all over the world.
yes, indeed. Sir, also during the inauguration, the President talked about implementing the renewable energy pledges in Africa, which is difficult, as he said, due to the lack of funding, calling on the international financing institutions and the rich countries to provide low-cost funding to the renewable energy projects. What's your take on that, sir?
Yeah. It's not the first time that President Abdel Fattah
Yes,
al-Sisi called
yes,
for developing the renewable energy in Africa. And as you know that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi during the last 4 years called the international institutions to fund the African state efforts and convert to the renewable energy. They suffered from lack of finance. This is one, and also they want to attract the new technology and the know-how to establish a new power plant depending upon renewable energy and the power and so on. He is still insisting that the international community has a responsibility to help the African countries in their efforts to produce renewable energy.
yes. Sir, to what extent could Egypt share insight on how business models, investments, and operations in the field of energy, how that could benefit the Egyptian market?
Yeah, of course, it will be a big benefit not for the Egyptian market, but also for the Egyptian economy.
Yes.
Egypt is the main market even for the international companies.
Yes.
And as you know that we have traditional partners in Egypt working in discoveries, drilling, and extracting crude oil and natural gas at the same time. We have the main basic infrastructures, even for extracting and exporting. And as you know that there is there was Egyptian negotiations with the other countries that they wanted to use the Egyptian infrastructures to regasifications their products and so on, and to export it to Europe, like Cyprus, like Greece, and other countries. Now, Egypt is the main hub for these industries of natural gas and the crude oil, also in the Middle East. So this is, of course, means that the international companies working in gas and oil signed many agreements to increase their investment in Egypt, and also a new companies working in mining at the same time, and oil and the gas, to come to the Middle East, especially the Canadian companies and the Russian companies at the same time. So it will be a benefit not only for the Egyptian market, but at the same time for the Egyptian economy, where the cabinet are trying to attract more foreign direct investment in the Egyptian market.
Indeed, Mr. Abdul Latif Wahba, our journalist, thank you so much, sir, for your precious input. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show, where we have been tackling the situation in the Gaza Strip in light of the current hearings presented by the more than 50 states for the situation in Gaza, and considering what's happening there as a genocide. Also, we are discussing the Egypt's 2024, which is taking place here in Egypt and was inaugurated yesterday by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. That would bring us to the end of this edition of the program. Till tomorrow is another program. Hasti Rabia signing off and wishing all our dear viewers a good day.